the aluminum manufacturer, something about phosphate fertilizers, and the American Dental Association. I mean, what could those three things have in common outside of my mouth?
Right. Well, it's fluoride, and they all come together to be compulsory mass medication for a non-communicable disease.
Mass? That sounds like Nazi Germany or something. Mass sterilization? No, mass medication.
Medication.
Mandatory mass medication. So you mean like because they put it in the water and you can't,
right.
you have to drink the water.
We don't have a choice about it anymore. So, you know, it's not safe. It's not even effective in what it's supposed to be doing, and it's not economical either.
What I was always surprised that they put fluorine. Fluorine's in all, like Floristan's in toothpaste. Why they would need to put it in the water anyway if it already exists?
Well, we don't need to, and the studies have shown that it doesn't really make any difference whether the water is fluoridated or not. Tooth decay has dropped the world over. So, well, what it boils down to is that the phosphate companies and the aluminum companies have a waste product in common, and that is fluoride-bearing ore. And so they need to get rid of it somehow. It's very expensive to get rid of because it has a very long half-life. So they came up with the bright idea of selling it to us to put in our water. But, you know, that wouldn't be so bad if it were safe, but it's not. It's been proven to be...
Okay, well, let's take a look. It should be coming up in just a second here. Sounds like a really interesting piece you did.
Okay, and hopefully Dr. Herbert Robinson, who I'm interviewing, will say it better.
Okay, great.
What is the American Dental Association's line on fluoride?
Well, the American Dental Association's statements for the last 40 years have been that fluoride is safe, it's effective, and it's very economical, and it's unquestionably the best way to stop children's cavities and the decay in children's teeth. Well, the first time that I noticed something was odd about it, about the whole program, was when I attended a meeting of the deans of 3 dental schools in a big place where they had scientists meeting in a hotel in Philadelphia. And in the middle of the meeting, this one man was demonstrating his travels of how the fluoride had nothing to do with the decay rates at all, and that it was the nutritional values of the soil and of the water and of the habits of the lifestyles of these people. And in the middle of that, a man got up and began to make a big commotion, and we found out that he was Dr. Cox of the Mellon Institute. And in inquiring, I found out that the Mellon Institute represented the Alcoa Company, which is the Aluminum Corporation of America, and they were trying to dispose of their tons and tons of fluoride-bearing ores. And so this was the first time I found out that there was a commercial reason for the push, the tremendous push that they were having to get rid of their fluoride wastes.
During this whole time, the government was doing studies, was it not, with controlled cities versus cities where they fluoridated the public water supply?
At that time, I remember they were doing work with Grand Rapids and Muskegon and some of these other cities.
In Michigan.
In Michigan. They were putting fluoride in one city, and they had a control city, and they were making data, collecting data over a period of years as to the fact that the decay rates were dropping in fluoridated cities. But we never got a report what was happening in the non-fluoridated city until much later.
And what did that report show?
Well, the report showed there was no difference, almost no difference between the fluoridated and the non-fluoridated cities.
So as far as the control cities versus the fluoridated cities, what was the outcome of some of these studies?
Well, all of these studies, almost all of them, showed that there was no difference in the decay rates, very relatively little, between the fluoridated city and the control city. But we were never told about the control city. All we were told was that the decay rates are dropping, and we dentists thought, oh boy, this is it. We have something here that's going to do a job in preventing dental decay. So we have here a very questionable procedure that has that can be challenged as not being effective at all, and of course there is a toxic side to it that should make us desist on the whole thing. And then of course We have the famous work of Dr. Janus on cancer death rates, where Dr. Burke from the Sloan Kettering people and Procter & Gamble and the National Toxicology Program all claimed a definite relationship to cancer on these people who were going through the thing.
Procter & Gamble, the toothpaste people, the
Yes.
fluoridated toothpaste
The very
people.
people that were selling the fluoride actually admitting the fact that there is a definite link to the cancer problem. The real thing is that the city council is ignorant of what we just said, and it wouldn't hurt to let them know what we just said. But secondly, we have to get the public informed so that they will rouse up and make a little noise about it, and so that city council will think twice before they dare put it in. And third of all, the dentists should be challenged to do their homework.
Well, thank you, Dr. Herbert Robinson, for all your hard work in the city of St. Petersburg. It's much appreciated.